Hi everybody, it's Wendy from Cinnamon Sweet Shop. Today I'm going to show you how to make a chocolate cocoa butter buttercream. Now what makes this recipe different from your average buttercream is that we're using real cocoa butter. Now this is an ingredient that if you live in the United States, it's not the easiest to get your hands on. It's not really available on the store shelves in your average grocery store. I haven't even seen it in health food stores. You could buy it at the link below, which I have provided. Another thing with cocoa butter is it's probably one of the most expensive. No, it's not probably, it is the most expensive ingredient I've ever used in any kind of baking. The price does vary. It goes up, it goes down, depending on the world market for cocoa. Yes, it's all natural. It does come off of a tree, and this happens to be organic as well. Another thing with cocoa butter is it's as hard as a rock. So this icing could become a lot more firmer than your average icing, depending on how much of the liquid that you put in it as well. Another ingredient is cocoa powder. I'm using the Dutch process real dark. You can use that or you could use regular. If you use the Dutch process, your icing will come out nice dark brown. I'm using also a heavy cream in this. If you want to make this recipe vegan, which you certainly can, just use an almond milk or soy milk. You could also use a whole milk if you don't have cream on hand. I'm also going to be adding just a little bit of my chocolate extract, which I do have a video that shows you how to make this, linked below. If you don't have this, you don't have time to make it because it does take a couple of months of brewing to get this done. You can also use vanilla extract. Now, I'm keeping this sugar free, so I have some powdered sugar, but mine happens to be a powdered stevia blend. Now, you can make this yourself, which is what I did. I bought the stevia blend that measures cup for cup, put it in a high-power blender, and just ground it up until it was of a powdery consistency. In the microwave, I melted down the cocoa butter so you can see it's a very liquidy consistency. It's a golden color, almost a transparent color, but I did let it sit a little bit so it's getting a little more cloudy, which is fine. You don't want it really, really warm when you're going to make this. And I'm going to blend this, or I'm going to beat this with the beater blade in my mixer. Beat it with the unsweetened cocoa powder. Then I'm going to add in the sugar. Now I have about 2 cups of, well, in my case it's the stevia blend, but I have about 2 cups. The recipe calls for anywhere from 2 to 3 cups, and this is going to depend on your preference. I don't like my icings real sweet. I notice that 90% of the frostings and icings that I taste are too sweet, and then you put that on top of a sweet cake or another dessert that has sugar, it's just too sweet for me. So all of the ingredients on my website are kind of ambiguous. You could play around with how much. Then we're going to mix this in as well. I'm going to put in about 1/2 teaspoon of my chocolate extract, but as I said, you could use vanilla extract. Then we're going to add in the liquid. Now I'm using a heavy cream because it whips up real nice. So if you're going to make this vegan, I would probably recommend going with a coconut cream over some sort of soy or almond milk. And you're going to add just enough to give it the consistency that you are looking for. Probably about 1/4 to 1/2 cup, maybe more, depending on how thin, thick you want this. When you're finished beating this, it will be a thick consistency. You can see it is sliding off the spatula. It's spreadable. This is perfect for filling. If you want to keep this as a frosting, then just refrigerate it and it'll thicken even more. In fact, if you're using heavy cream in this, you definitely want to keep this in the refrigerator to stop it from going bad. If you want it thinner, then you could just slowly warm it up, slowly meaning on a very low heat. You don't want to make it too warm, and then you can just rebeat it and it'll come back to your wonderful consistency. For this recipe, for my other recipes, make sure you visit the link below. Subscribe to this YouTube channel for much more, and I will see you next time.